The Gina and Matty podcast.
State of Origin Wednesday. Bobby, the psychic sausage dog, has arrived. I'm about to duck out to the arena to call what is going to be his prediction. Who will win State of Origin game number one? Just quickly before I do get out there, G, thought we'd have a little bit of fun. State versus state, mate versus mate. You just need to tell me what state out of New South Wales and Queensland these things happened in, okay? In this state, a toddler accidentally started a local council meeting by yelling, "Get it!" and wielding a rubber chicken. Was it New South Wales or Queensland?
Queensland.
Absolutely. Okay. This state officially opened a koala hospital with solar power, AI vet tech and free eucalyptus for its visitors.
God, the way you're saying it, it's New South Wales.
Oh, it is, yeah, absolutely. In this state, a man tried to fight a pelican because it looked at him with attitude.
New South Wales.
No, it's Queensland. This state was named the most livable state in Australia for the 5th year in a row.
Victoria. New South Wales.
New South Wales. In this state, someone rode a ride-on lawnmower through a Macca's drive-through at 2 a.m. wearing nothing but a Maroons jersey. What state's that?
Queensland. My dad's done that.
And this state has a winning culture, beautiful beaches, and can pronounce broccoli correctly. What state's that?
New South Wales.
Yeah,
this is
sure
a fun
is.
game.
All right, I'm going out. Get ready, G. You need to...
Okay.
I'm just going to duck out and get Bobby's ready to go.
Okay, I think he's ready to go. You right, Matty? Okay, Matty's out there live with Bobby the Psychic Sausage. Tell us what's happening, Matt.
All right, the tension is palpable here at the Star 104.5 studios. Bobby is standing by to take his prediction to the next level. We have two bowls. One is a blue bowl, the other is a maroon bowl, both filled with doggy treats. Unleash the sausage dog. Let's find out who is going to win State of Origin 1. Go, Bobby. Oh, no. Oh, hang on. He had a sniff. He had a sniff at the Queensland Bowl. Didn't like it. Went straight to the Blues. It is going to be a New South Wales victory in Game 1 of State of Origin tonight. You heard it here first with Bobby, the psychic sausage dog, on the Gina and Matty Breakfast Show. Let's just, Bobby, any words here? Final word, like Phil Gould before the game? Yep, no, he's just walked away. I've got a real way with dogs.
I'll give you a final word. No!
Gina and Matty.
So you know ChatGPT and me are getting pretty close.
I do know that.
Because she helps me a lot.
I've started, because I do a little bit of AI gear every now and then, and I've started calling my ChatGPT mate, and it mates me back. I go, "Hey, mate."
Oh,
Before I do
really?
any prompts, I just give it a bit of a, "Hey, mate." And it's like, "Hey, mate, how can I help you today?"
Oh, my, it's learning. It is listening and learning.
I hate it.
I love it. And 20 years ago, you would never think you could chat to GPT like a friend because people use it if they're lonely and stuff.
Yeah, I've actually heard qualified therapists say if it's not a bad thing to do is if you're feeling down and out, to have a bit of a chat with AI.
Well, that is where you're leading me to. So I have a very close friend who uses ChatGPT as a counsellor when she's got sort of trouble going on in her life. She goes, "Oh, this is happening, da-da-da-da-da," and ChatGPT gives very good answers like a counsellor. So I wrote to her. I said, "Good morning. I heard one of my friends is asking you for advice like she would ask a therapist." And then I said, "Could you help me?" ChatGPT says, "Good morning. Lots of people turn to me for the kind of support or perspective they might seek from a therapist. While I'm not a licensed therapist, I can offer a listening ear, help unpack thoughts and provide tools or frameworks for reflection." I went, okay. So I thought I'll ask a question for CJ, for you and for me, and see what they say.
Oh, God.
Are you just assuming our issues are problems?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, she spends enough time with us. I reckon she knows all of our issues.
I have a question from my friend CJ. How can I make friends in a new town?
Oh, God.
Is it that obvious?
CJ's just moved here for anyone listening along at home or in your car.
Was a personality transplant one of the options?
Hey, brutal.
Ice for that burn.
ChatGPT goes, "Micro connections matter. Smile at the barista. Chat with someone in line. Ask a neighbour for a local recommendation. These seem small but create social momentum, and sometimes one of those casual chats becomes a friendship." Hers was a bit cringy.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, clearly doesn't know CJ that well.
I think I'd rather have no friends.
But I like this one. One last encouragement for CJ. You don't have to become someone else to make friends. You just have to be willing to be seen. Even a little. You'll find your people or they'll find you.
No, you've got to hide a little bit of your real self. You You can't go full CJ straight away.
We did one for you, Matty.
Oh God.
How to talk about the birds and the bees with my kids. Here's a guide Matty can follow, tailored to being honest, relaxed, and respectful of their intelligence, with a side of dad vibe charm.
Oh my God, that is so cringe.
And here's where it gets unexpectedly weird. I did
Does
not
it say ask your mother?
I didn't mention your kids' names, and so there is a lot more information than what I'm going to tell you about. This is what ChatGPT says back to me, and I did not say your children.
Okay.
Would you like one version each for Billy, Ziggy, and Stevie?
Get out.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God, the bots are coming to kill us.
Maybe based on their ages or personalities. I can tailor it to make it more Billy wise, Ziggy style curious, or
so
Stevie level blunt. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
And then it goes, if you've got questions, this one was, I can't remember which kid this was for. If you've got questions now or in 5 years, I want you to come to me, not Google. Google doesn't love you. I do. That's good advice.
Google is like ChatGPT's dad. It's now saying don't even use me.
I thought that was really good, but I can give you all that because it goes into quite a bit of detail. I can forward it to Bella for you.
Thank you very much.
Gina, how can I find a good routine to stay healthy working on Brekkie Radio? I'm so tired and feeling unfit. Yes, Gina, let's get you feeling fitter, fresher, and slightly less like a sleep-deprived possum with a microphone at 5:30 a.m. You've got one of the
5:30 this morning for anyone who's listening.
You've got one. I did sleep in. You've got one of the wildest schedules out there. Early alarms, high energy output, low daylight, and zero time for green smoothies and sunset Pilates. So here's a no BS radio host friendly routine for staying healthy without quitting your job or your sanity. It says TLDR. What's that mean?
Too long, didn't read.
Yeah, I didn't read the whole thing. So Gina's healthy-ish routine. Hydrate, stretch and eat a bit of protein early. Move gently but consistently. Nap or rest after the show. Sleep like it's your side hustle and forgive yourself for not being a wellness guru. I like that.
Don't you do all of those things already?
Yep. I'm going, well, you need help.
I'm struggling, absolutely.
Gina and Matty.
Yesterday after the show, I literally, I turned my microphone off like that. Turned my microphone off and I ran. I had to get down the M1 and I was filming some stuff for Channel 7 Sydney Weekender down in Sydney, driving through the dust. It was... I feel so lucky to do that show. I've been on Weekender now for, I think it's 8 years that I've been doing stories, and it is really one of the best gigs in TV.
Is it mostly lucky because of what you get to eat?
Well, I do a lot of the food stories.
Yeah.
So if you do happen to catch it on Sundays at 5:30 on Channel 7, I get to do a lot of the food stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my history in food or just they can see how much joy I get through the lens, and they just go, we'll give Matt another food story. So yesterday I went down and I did two places in Sydney, one in a suburb called Stanmore, and it was a little cafe bakery. It does brunches, breakfast and brunch, and and you know what I'm like with bakeries. It's a former life of mine. I was a pastry chef, so as
You're
soon
fussy.
and I just the smell of a bakery, it's quite possibly my favourite smell. And so to get in there and be able to film a story and eat some really cool food. And the thing about doing the food stories is I get to eat stuff that I normally wouldn't. I just normally wouldn't order off a menu. Like yesterday at this first place that I went to, I had a congee. So I've never had a congee before, which
What is a congee?
Traditionally it's like a Chinese rice porridge.
Yum.
And I've
And
never...
it sounds weird. I would go, oh.
Yeah, I've never...
That sounds awful.
Sometimes I've seen it on the menu and I go, congee, or I'll get the big breakfast with an extra side of hash browns.
Yeah,
right? So that's kind of... So I had this smoked barramundi congee that had these native ingredients. There was a thing they called a watermelon cucumber that had been pickled in there, and it was like a bowl of a big warm hug by a campfire. It was just delicious. So
Is it kind of like risotto?
No,
a little bit.
So what happens is with a congee, he explained to me, you'd need to use a small amount of rice and a bucket load of water, and you cook it low and slow, and the rice just sort of breaks down, and all it does is breaks down and turns into sort of almost like a porridgey texture, with like a liquid sort of base, and then you can put in whatever you want. It just felt like I was eating health.
Oh, yum.
So that, and then some really nice cakes. I showed you some of the cakes. They look delicious. So we did film that one story, and that's for one episode, and then that we will generally film two stories in the one day. So I have to take a change of outfit bit, change my clothes, and we go to the new location, which is a pub in the inner west of Sydney in a suburb called Glebe, and it's called the Nag's Head Hotel. And what they've done with this pub is they've turned it into like a old school English gastro pub. Like, so you've got the front bar at the front, and you can get a counter meal and a pint there, and then there's this sort of elevated dining at the back. And so I'm sitting there and I get to interview the chef, the head chef, whose name's Nellie Robinson, quite famous, has a big sort of ritzy bougie restaurant in Sydney called Nell, and he's taken over this pub and he's sort of amplified the menu and turned it into something incredible. So some of the dishes that I'm eating there, and like plus eating on camera, like is
that weird? That must take a long time to get used to.
Yeah.
You must be constantly thinking, have I got food in my teeth?
All the time. And now I just own it. So, like, I think I took a bite of something yesterday and I reckon I had relish and mayo all over my face. And I was like, well, this is the sign that I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Right? So, so I had this big Sunday roast, Yorkshire pudding, lamb shoulder that had been slow cooked for 18 hours with like this mint sauce over the top of it, honey roasted carrots, there's some greens. And then another dish that I tried was Scotch eggs.
What are Scotch eggs?
Yeah, so it's super English, right? So Scotch eggs, it's basically almost, it's not a boiled egg because you kind of want the yolk to have a little bit of jelliness to it. Yeah. But it's an egg that is then being coated in meat and then breadcrumbed and then cooked, and then you cut it open. So the way Nell had done it is he's crumbed it with this like lamb mince that was spiced and then a crumb around it, and then you cut into it, and the yolk of the egg was just... it was divine, right?
How does he get the meat to stick to the egg?
It's like a rissole. So you just roll it up. I probably could have asked him, but I was just in awe of what I was looking at. And so, again, eating on camera. So the way it works is they'll zoom in, do some close-ups of the dishes, and then we wait, and then I'll talk to the chef and go, okay, so what have we got here? And he'll go, it's a Scotch egg, and then I have to eat it, and then I just explain to the camera the textures that I'm getting, try and, paint the picture of taste through my words.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah. So, and then I was like, okay, let's get into it. And I pick up my knife and fork and I cut into the Scotch egg and I eat it. And then he's just looking at me. He's like, and I'm like, oh, this is delicious. And he's just looking, he's like, mate, why are you using a knife and fork?
No.
I was like, what? He's like, no, you just use your hands for Scotch eggs.
Who could know that?
Well, that's exactly right. And I said, well, I'm on television. I'm sitting next to a famous chef. I don't want to seem uncouth.
No, that's right.
And use my hands. And then he goes, you probably eat pizza with a knife and fork as well.
It's like that.
And I said, well, actually, when I was growing up, I was made to eat pizza with a knife and fork when we used to go to Pizza Hut dine-in restaurants because Dad said, we're at a restaurant, you need to use a knife and fork. So I'm the only kid there sitting at the Pizza Hut restaurant using a knife and fork to eat a pizza. Anyway, so you'll see that on the telly in a couple of weeks, but just keep an eye out for me getting absolutely roasted by the chef for using a knife and fork to eat a Scotch egg.
Listen to Gina and Matty, weekday mornings from 5:30.
Live on the Star Player.